Hey everyone, welcome to my Periscope account. Hope you guys are having a wonderful end to the week. Hello everyone, there we go, we're logging on. It is so good to see all of your beautiful hearts flowing. Thank you. Hello, where are you guys calling from? You're freezing, huh? It's cold here. I think I woke up, it was 19 degrees. Washington State, Phoenix, awesome. My family is feeling better. Thank the Lord for that because they have been very sick. My son missed 5 days of school. Thank you for that. Congrats. Stepped on the scale today and for the first time in a long time, I was very happy. Especially with the holidays coming. Vancouver, Canada. No water. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, if you are brand new to my Periscope account, my name is Jackie Ritz. I'm a Blue Diamond in doTERRA. I also am founder of the Paleo Mama blog and our Well-Oiled Machine community as well. We have a community of almost 8,000 members. So I love my team. I love my tribe. But this is what I love doing as well, kind of in my free time. And I wanted to come on here today and share with you guys a little bit about how I open a class and kind of what I say to get over that big hump. So has anybody else ever struggled with opening a class and what's the right thing to say and the transition into opening and then talking and how to not be nervous? Anybody ever wondered, or am I the only one who was very nervous the first few times I taught? What do you say? Totally. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some tips for what I like to do to kind of take that nervousness away and also just my language. And so kind of what I use to kind of get over that hump. Because a lot of times what happens is we start talking really fast and we get really nervous and sweaty, and then it just becomes all about the product. And so we end up becoming the selfishy, pitchy person that we don't want to be. So kind of what I'm, once again, if you're on my other scope, I kind of pull out my Starfish book because this is an excellent network marketing book, especially if you are in doTERRA. So I love this book. Neil Anderson was just on here, but I don't think he's on anymore. And I love this. I love the part about where you're actually teaching and what to actually say to get over it. So I have my opening and closing script written out and printed out for when I teach so that I always have it in front of me. But I like to really make sure that everyone feels comfortable. And if you've ever read Neil Anderson's book, you know that it is all about, okay, the cow person has to go. You're really distracting me. I mean, you could throw up like boobs and all this comments, but talking about a cow, for some reason, I think about my cows and it's really distracting. So I know it's really funny. So I'm really good at ignoring all the really nasty comments, but if you're asking about a cow, I'm sorry. I just can't stay on track. See how I just got off track? Okay, anyways. Thank you for inviting your followers, right, Nye. That's I'm very appreciative for that. So I like to really take the focus off of myself. So a lot of the times when you're nervous, it's because you're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about how you might look standing up there. You're thinking about, oh, what's the next thing I'm going to say? You're thinking about don't wiggle, don't move, don't pick my nose. You know, is my skirt too short? You know, you're thinking about all those things. And so you're really, in essence, you're thinking about yourself. And so if you turn it around and you actually think about those people sitting next to you in your class, you're going to realize that it takes a lot of the pressure off of you. So when you are teaching throughout a class, or if you're talking one-on-one with somebody and you ever feel that nervousness rise up, just remember that what we do in doTERRA, it's not about us. It's about serving other people, showing up, and helping other people get what they need. And so if you're able to create that sharing environment that we talked about on a previous scope, I don't know if you guys saw that scope or not, but I think it was 2 or 3 scopes ago. We talked about how to create that sharing environment, and that environment where people feel safe with us and they feel comfortable. And you're letting them off the hook. You're giving them permission to say no. And once you do that, you're going to see people become more comfortable with you, and you're going to see people say yes more to you. So it's almost like, you know, when you're in the dating relationship. I haven't been in that world in so long, but you know, when you're telling somebody, no, I don't want to go out with you, it really makes them want you more. So it's very similar to that, you know, so you're not giving them that appearance of, no, I don't care about you, but you're letting them off the hook. And so we talked about how we let people off the hook in a previous scope. And that's pretty much in the opening that I do for my classes or my webinars or my one-on-ones or my Skype dates with, you know, people interested in getting started. And so what I like to say is something around this lines. All right. And I introduce myself. I say good morning or good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I just really want you to have a good time and get comfortable. I'll tell them there's water in the back, or if they're at home on a webinar of mine, I'll tell them, I hope you're comfy in your PJs and have a hot cup of tea in front of you. And then I will say something, and then I'll go into my open, okay? And I'll say, and like I said, I see Neil just popped on here. Neil, I'm talking about your book. And I will actually go right into introducing about myself. So I'll say, my name is Jackie Ritz. I am, you know, a wellness essential oil educator, and I love sharing about essential oils with all of you. In fact, I started using oils, and I tell them my story. I started using doTERRA oils about 3 years ago. I was looking for a safer, healthier alternative for my children. I wanted to use something more natural on them. I was tired of having to run to the store in the middle of the night. And I really just knew that there was something else out there. And so already what I'm doing is I'm relating to them. And so if I just pop up there and say, I love using doTERRA, they're so good, they smell so good, and I don't relate to them and any kind of pain point that they might be going through, then really, what am I doing? I mean, I'm wasting my time. They have to relate to what I'm saying in some form or fashion, and I will change my opening for different audiences that I speak to. If I'm speaking to mothers, I'll speak about my children. If I'm speaking about the business, I will speak about the business and how we were $50,000 in debt and looking for something to really help us get out of that debt. So know your people and know what their pain points are. And so that's why that sharing before the whole process, you know, 80% of people have already made a decision before they've even come to your class most of the time. You know, and that is why it's so ideal to share samples with them and to follow up and then to get them there, because they've already made the decision and now they're just coming to the class so that they can buy the oils from you and learn a little bit more about them. So, and then after I introduce myself, welcome, I introduce, and then I'll just say, and this is once again from the Starfish book. First tonight, it's all, you know, I like to say, tonight I have a few rules for you, and they're fun rules. First, it's going to be completely up to you. Tonight is all about you, and it's all about just teaching you some safer, healthier alternatives to healthcare. And then the second rule is this, and I love, love, love this from the Starfish book. It goes, how many of you have ever been to a home party or maybe a webinar or a Facebook class, and you hear about a product and then you end up and you go home buying 10 leggings, another cooking spatula, some fun little purse, and you really didn't need it. And so I'll wait for people to raise their hands, and usually they'll giggle or something like that, because we've all been there. And we've all felt pressured into buying. And so I'll say tonight, I'm going to teach you some things that are going to change your life. And if you decide that doTERRA is a fit for you, then I'm so excited to be your guide in that. But if you decide that it's not for you, then that is totally okay with me. I just want you to have a good time. And I want you to know that we're still going to have a good time together. And I know that this isn't a fit for everybody. And then I'll just say, I'm simply just passionate about what I do and what I share. And I just hope that you go home leaving with some better essential oil knowledge. And I leave it completely up to them. And I'll say at the end, I'll say, how does that sound? And most people you can see visually that they will just relax. And they will just be like, oh my gosh, this girl is not going to force me to buy anything. I like this. Okay, and you'll see visually them just start to relax, and they'll probably put their stuff down. Their shoulders will relax. You will see a physical difference in those people sitting there. And so that's what I love doing. I love opening my classes like that and giving them the freedom to say no to me. And then they'll feel much more comfortable saying yes eventually. So another really good thing that I like doing when I start my opening is that I will go into my talk, and my talk is not all about the products. My talk is all about them. And so I'll make sure that I constantly am bringing it back to them. So if I'm talking about lavender and I just go into lavender, it's really, really great. It smells good. You probably heard of it. Do you grow lavender? And that's it. Then they're never going to understand how to use it. So ask a question when you're talking about each of your oils that you're going to highlight. So ask them a question. Have you ever had trouble going to sleep at night? And everyone's going to raise their hand because we've all had trouble going to sleep at night. And then if they have, ask them, well, what did you do to make that better? And how did that make you feel? Okay, so you're creating a dialogue in your classes or your one-on-ones or your informal gatherings with friends. You're just making sure that you create a dialogue that brings it back to them all the time. And so, what I'll say was I've had the same thing going on. I couldn't get to sleep at night, or I'd wake up in the middle of the night and it was just, I couldn't get my mind to shut off. And then you're going to go into the practical ways that you used lavender. Okay, and if you didn't have a story to go with lavender, then you need a third-person story from somebody who has used lavender and had a lot of success with it. So I will tell them, well, I love to take my bottle of lavender, and what I'll do is I'll add a little bit onto the back of my neck, and I'll add a little bit on my pillow and just rub it into my pillow really good. I love putting it in a diffuser, and so I'll add some to a diffuser, and so that's where it's kind of, we've already talked about diffusers at this point. That's where you're diffusing it into the air and you're able to breathe it in. So that is some really good ways that you guys can just be more comfortable and less nervous when you're doing your opening. I hope that these tips were helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in right now. I will answer them as they are coming in. I unfortunately don't speak any Spanish. Oh, my keto plan. Okay. Okay, so when I get off track, I will, and let me see if anyone asks about my opening. If anyone has any questions about opening. Okay, so I personally use the Edge system. I use the Edge Tear Pad, the Edge Enrollment Kit, and the Edge Agreement Form. So that is what I use, and I find it very simple and helpful. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. All right. So the buyer's guide I don't use. I don't want to show retail price. So I don't use the buyer's guide at all. I only use the handout, and I only use the enrollment form. That's all I use. I don't use the buyer's guide from Edge. I don't have the price list out either. I don't want people to buy individual oils. I usually will have a product guide, or what I really do is I bring a ton of living magazines when I teach a big class, and I'll have a product guide kind of hidden just for me. But in the back of the living magazine, it has the individual prices as well. I really don't want people buying individual oils. I don't feel that's a good deal for them. I don't feel like they're getting the best value. And I also really don't want to do that. I don't want to go through individual oils. Now, if they want to create a custom kit, I will absolutely help them create a custom kit. They don't even know that they can buy retail from me. So they know that that's not even an option. I don't even talk about it. So I feel a lot of people get stuck in that. And I think the best way to avoid it is really, for you, isn't the wholesale membership the best deal? So why would you sell somebody retail? It's really, you're cheating them out of a good, you're cheating them. You're not really empowering them to go in and order more. And they're not getting the best bang for their buck. I am a very frugal person, so I look at it as a way for me to teach them how to be more frugal as well with their money. So don't put the prices out of individual oils. I mean, if you want to, okay, that's up to you. But if you get caught in the trap of people only buying 1 or 2 oils from your class, then okay. It is not unusual for me to sell diamond kits every month. It's not unusual. My normal kit is a natural solutions kit because I don't talk about individual purchases. I talk about the kits, and I really provide the value of the kits to people. I missed that last question. If you want to pop it up again. I'm sorry, I missed it. I have done a mock class before, and I have one up on YouTube. So I do have a YouTube channel that I put all of my scopes on, and I put some of my training on that I do for the public. So I do have that up there, and my YouTube name is The Paleo Mama. I have never let anyone order through my account, ever. I will recommend that if you are in a hustle month. So like right now, I have done a little challenge with some of my leaders or some of my builders, and I've said, okay, I know you guys got people that are not going to get a kit. All right. So here is the link to the product guide. Send them the link and let them go shopping. So that is kind of what I have done in the past. I've allowed them to, I've encouraged, if you have somebody and it's holiday shopping, so it's only like once a year that I've ever recommended that, and then BOGO month, is a little bit different. Because I feel, once again, like I'm not empowering them. If they have to come to me every single time they need to reorder something, what if I'm not home and their kid blows a double ear thing? Okay, I don't want them to have to wait on me. I want them to be able to have what they need right then, or be able to order it right then. So that's kind of my feelings on that. But like I said, if you're in a hustle month, then you're going to hustle any way that you can. And if there are people that you have already approached about buying a wholesale kit, then maybe they'll go shopping for you. So send them, what I did is I said, all right, let's send our people who have told us no, let's send them the link to the product guide and let them go shopping and ask them what they would like us to order for them. Because then that way you're getting your frankincense for free as well. Yes, okay, if somebody is adamant that they cannot buy a kit, I will definitely help them with 1 or 2 oils. I mean, I don't say no to that. But what I really make sure I do is teach them the value of the kit. Now, my favorite kit right now for people on a budget is the Aroma Touch Diffused Kit. That kit is amazing, and it's $150. They get a diffuser, they get a coconut oil, and they get 8 oils, okay? And so they're able to, all those oils are great for immune support, digestive support, they're good for muscular support, emotional, because you got the balance in there. So that's my favorite budget-friendly kit. That is a really good kit for somebody on a budget. Now, if they still can't afford that, then I would absolutely help them with their very pressing needs. I will ask them, well, what is an immediate health need that you have going on right now that you want to use the oils for? And so a lot of times it'll be something for their kids, you know, and I'll be like, well, let's look at this. So you need these 2 oils right away, or you need this chewable vitamin right away. All right, let's create a 3-month plan. All right, we're in the 3 months, you're able to get the contents of everything that you need, but only paying what you can afford, $50 a month, okay? And each month we're gonna reorder something different, and you're also gonna get LRP back doing it this way, and you're also going to get free shipping. So if somebody's on a budget, I will definitely help them in that way. Like I said, it's all about showing up and just serving them. Somebody wants to buy just 1 oil from me, okay. If that's after I've taught you the value of the kits, then okay. I mean, I totally get it. So LRP is our loyalty rewards program with doTERRA. Okay, so I'm going to answer that keto question. That's a fun question, and I can kind of get personal with you guys and quit talking so much business. So keto is I think I had my thing up here too. I have a good starter guide on my website. If you Google the Paleo Mama keto, it's going to pop up. I'm already married. I'm sorry. You're probably 12 anyway. So if you Google the Paleo Mama keto, it'll bring up a starter guide that you guys can look at. And so what ketogenic diet is, it's where you're eating high fat, low carb. And now the reason why a lot of people actually are not good at this is because they're not really sticking to low carb. So they end up eating high fat and also high carb. And so they end up gaining weight. So you have to, if you're going to do the ketogenic diet, you have to make sure that you stick with high fat, low carb. And so it's very similar to Atkins, but it's more healthy because you're eating real food. You're not eating packaged food or, you know, any kind of high sodium stuff, you know, that we find a lot in the Atkins diet. And so what I do is I eat about 20 grams of carb every day. I don't count. Okay, I have never. If I have to count my calories, I'm gonna fail. So I know how I am. So I just simply I just try to stick around 20 grams of carbs. So what I'll do is if I'm eating something, I will look at the back and I'll see how many carbs are in it. So that's really all I do. And I try to stick, every time I eat, I try to stick with that in mind. So it's really simple. It's a very simple diet. You can eat protein, animal proteins. You can eat high fat like butter and coconut oil, and duck fat is one of our favorites because we raise ducks. Also cacao butter, you can use that. Peanut butter, that's low in carbs. You just have to be sure to check that. A lot of them have added sugar in it. And it's awesome. So you put your body in a ketosis state. And when you are able to do that, you are in a fat burning state. So you know that your body is burning fat and it's never burning anything else. So I've been on this now for a little over 2 months and I've lost 16 pounds. You definitely can't get it from Jenny Craig, no. And I feel like that's pretty good. I haven't really gotten into a workout routine like, you know, running or riding the bike or anything like that. I've just done daily farm tasks. And if I was to probably work out, I would lose it even faster. You're gone. So another thing is you can get these Quito Strips off of Amazon. And so you pee on them and you check to see if your body is in ketosis. So I love it because it's actually a very visual thing showing you, wow, you're actually in ketosis, and that means your body is actually burning fat. So you put your body into a fat burning state. And so, okay, realistically, this is a diet that is extremely good for somebody with heart disease, It's very good for somebody who has cancer, Alzheimer's, epilepsy for children. It has actually done amazing things for them. And if you have PCOS, it's also very, very good for women with PCOS. It really is very balancing. You want to make sure that you avoid sugar. Sugar is extremely high in carbs. So you have to make sure that you avoid sugar. You avoid high carb things like bread, beans, lentils, sprouts, chips, popcorn. I mean, you are going to be eating really good food that's probably very different than what you've ate. So here's my daily menu. I wake up and I make a bulletproof coffee. And so a bulletproof coffee consists for me of 2 cups of organic coffee, already brewed, about 1.5 tablespoons of butter, and then about 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. And then about 4 to 5 drops of my pumpkin spice stevia drops. And so I put that all into a little cup. I get my immersion blender and I immersion that up. And so it's high fat and it holds me. I don't get hungry before 10 anyway, 11. So this just kind of gives my body some good fats to burn. And then also what I'll do for lunch is I'll just have something like a leftover chicken or an Italian sausage links. Those are super easy to get and make. And so I'll eat that with a side of some kind of vegetable. And right now it's like hustle season for me. So I'm not above using steam fresh vegetables. So I will pop that broccoli in the microwave. Or I love cauliflower as well. And then I'll add some butter and some Parmesan cheese and some salt on top. And I'll eat that on the side. So you can have dairy. I eat mostly just our raw dairy that we have from our cow. So the cream and the butter from that. And it's easy. It's good. And there's some really good support groups on Facebook as well. So if you are interested in getting started on keto, I don't use a meal plan at the moment. And I really started without even a book. So dinner is whatever I make for my family. So usually my lunch is massive, all right? I will have a massive lunch, and you would be shocked that I have lost 16 pounds after looking at my lunch. So, and I'll get some mustard. I'll dip my, I'll usually have 1 or 2 sausage links at lunch, and then a huge side of the broccoli or whatever vegetable. Dinner, I'm usually not that hungry, guys, because you're eating high fat. Your body is just sustained so well. And I'm not usually so hungry at night. I'll usually make like a caprese salad with salami and some olive oil drizzled on, some fresh mozzarella cheese, and some basil. Or I'll just eat whatever I've made for the family that I can have on my diet. My kids eat rice and they eat whole grains. They're not paleo or keto. But for me, I kind of just eat what I can, and I just add a really big side of vegetables. So it's really good. It's been awesome. And so I'd love to see you guys kick it off and get started. Once again, if you Google the Paleo Mama Keto, you should pull up my Ketogenic Diet 101 plan. And it's like a beginner's guide that you can read through. So, all right. I am going to sign off because this scope got long, but I'm glad that you guys stuck around and listened, and I'll see you guys on, yes, I take Lifelong Vitality, most definitely. I take our supplements every single day. And right now I just did a Facebook Live for my team on how I haven't gotten sick. I keep saying that, but I swear the more I say it, the more I put myself at risk at getting sick. But my whole family's been really under the weather, so I've been boosting my immune system with Lifelong Vitality and probiotics and our On Guard Plus capsules right now as well. So all right, everyone, I hope that you guys have a good weekend. I'm gonna go hang out with my little kids and my little hobbits, and I hope that you guys have a great end to your December. So we'll see you guys on the next scope. Bye, everyone.